Good morning, class 11 students. This is the second class. In the previous session, we'll discuss about the history of computer. So, in this session, we'll learn about the generation of computer. But before that, in the history of computer, the last topic I was telling you about the stored program concept. So, start with the stored program concept, which is invented in 1945 by John von Neumann. So in this concept, this diagram explains the stored program concept. In this concept, what happened? According to John von Neumann, the data and the program, the data as well as the program should be stored first, then it will processed by the processor or calculation has been done, then the result has been also stored. So here two parts are there, one is the processor, another is the data and program which is stored in the storage. And for connecting this processor and the storage, the communication channels has been used. The communication channels, that means these are nothing than some wires which are also known as bus. BUS, it is also known as a communication channel. Using this communication channel, the memory part or the memory unit of the computer is connected with the processor. The processor is nothing than the equipment or device that used for all kind of calculation. So this processor and the memory is connected through the communication channel, and whatever with the data any user want to calculate or any kind of processing, the data is all first stored in the memory, as well as for on that data some instruction need or some command needs to calculate. These commands and programs is also stored in the memory. After storing the data and the program, it has been passed to the processor, and in the processor all and every calculation has been done. After that, through the communication channel, it is the result comes to the memory and it will be stored in the memory. So this concept was invented, or this concept was provided by John von Neumann at the year 1945. But at that time the electronics was not so developed, so that this concept has not been used. Nowadays we are using this concept. Now come to the generation of computer. So from 1942, the first generation has been considered as 1942 to 1955. This is the first generation of computer, which is from the 1942 to nowadays. This is 2020. The computers are broadly classified into four generations. That's the first generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. One more fifth generation computer is also there. Now it is in developing mode. We'll discuss about this. So first we'll go for the first generation computer, which was from 1942 to 1955. So in this generation, the main computing device is used as vacuum tube. The vacuum tube is a main computing device was used in first generation of computer. The vacuum tube is very much similar to the capacitor we are using nowadays, condenser capacitor, but it was a bigger size. The size of a vacuum tube like this much of size. So the demerits and the drawback of this vacuum tube is it generates a heat. A huge amount of heat has been generated with this vacuum tube, and the size, the physical size of the computer is also very large. So in the second generation of computer, which is from 1955 to 1964, 1955 to 1964 is the second generation of computer, in which the main computing device is used as transistor. Transistor is used as the main computing device. Now the size of a transistor is very few size or very small size like this. So the the size of the physical size of the computer in second generation is reduced than the first generation, and the problem of generating heat and electric consumption also reduced. But in the third generation IC, that is integrated circuit, has been used. In the third generation, integrated circuit has been used. The integrated circuit is nothing than over a single silicon chips. On a single silicon chips, a number of transistors are plotted, so that the size of the computer is even more reduced, and this kind of IC or integrated circuit is known as SSI, small scale integration. SSI, that is small scale integration, and later on in that particular generation MSI, that is medium scale integration, has been used. So the difference between small scale integration and the medium scale integration is that in a small scale integration about 10 transistors has been plotted on a single silicon chips, whereas in case of MSI, that is medium scale integration, where up to 100 transistor has been plotted on a single silicon chips. Now in this generation, third generation, the size of the computer is become very smaller. Nowadays whatever we are using desktop PC, okay, those are the size of that third generation computer. Now in the fourth generation computer, the same IC has been used, but here we are using two kind of integration, that is LSI, that is large scale integration, and VLSI, that is very large scale integration. Now this kind of integration or this kind of IC is also known as a processor. Whatever be the microprocessor or processor or CPU nowadays we are using, that is nothing than a large scale integration and a very large scale integration. In a large scale integration, we have up to 1 lakh transistor on a single silicon chips, whereas here we can have up to 3 lakhs transistor in a single silicon chips. So these are the fourth generation. The fourth generation, the third generation is from 1964 to 75, and the fourth generation is from 1975 onward. That is, nowadays we are using only the fourth generation computer. Now this fifth generation computer, which is under developing, now in this generation a new concept has been used. The same hardware, the same LSI, VLSI is used in the fifth generation, but in the fifth generation the concept of artificial intelligence, AI or artificial intelligence, has been introduced. The artificial intelligence is nothing than the power of taking decision by the computer itself. Now the computer, up to the fourth generation computer, the computer doesn't have the power to take its own decision. But in case of artificial intelligence, the computer can take it decision. But unlike a human being or other animal, it cannot take decision by its own. Now for anybody like a human being, if we are able to take decision, that is because of our experience. What we learn in the past, that let us to decide anything for the future. Likewise, this kind of artificial intelligence is nothing than a computer that learn very much thing, or that has lots of information so that it can take its own decision. The artificial intelligence is not such a big thing. Nowadays you are using artificial intelligence in your Amazon Echo or Alexa. You must know about Alexa. Okay, the Alexa is a simple small machine on a small device that has the artificial intelligence. You are giving voice message or you are commanding anything to Alexa, the Alexa is able to recognize and search that particular thing. That is a kind of artificial intelligence. Even if almost all of you are using Google for searching any kind of information. So in Google also artificial intelligence has been used. When you are typing something on Google address bar or search box, at that time automatically it displays some result. That is a kind of artificial intelligence. So in any computer where artificial intelligence has been used, that kind of computer is known as a fifth generation computer. Nowadays it is in a developing stage. It is not completely developed because taking decision is a very much difficult thing, and lot of other information or experience needed for taking decision. So that this is in a developing condition. This is what about the fourth kind of generation or the fifth generation of the computer. So students, for today this much is enough. If you have any kind of doubt about this particular topic, then contact me on my group or my WhatsApp number, or you can call me. Okay, thank you students.